Good morning, children. In our previous class, we have read about different types of substances. Substances which are soluble in water, solid substances also, and liquid substances also. Then we also read about the substances which are insoluble in water, solid also, liquid also. As I told you to do the activity of that nimbu pani, in a glass of water, you just add 1 teaspoon of sugar, a pinch of salt, and lemon juice, and you mix it. You will observe that all the substances have been completely dissolved in water. So, they are called soluble substances. We also read about the solute, the substance which we put in any medium to form a mixture, that is known as solute. Then we read about the solvent. Solvent means the medium in which we put the substances to form a solution, and the mixture of solute and solvent is known as solution. So children, we also read about floating and sinking. The substances which float in water and the substances which sink in water. Here we saw that coins sink in water and cork pieces float in water. Then here again we saw that mustard oil and carbon tetrachloride are insoluble in water and they float also. And carbon tetrachloride form a layer below water. It sinks down and mustard oil floats. Now today we have to read about the physical states of water. As in the beginning of lesson only I told you that water is present in 3 states. States means here condition. In 3 conditions, that is solid, liquid and gaseous. Solid water, in this picture you can see a glass of water, liquid water it is. Liquid water, a glass of water which we drink. Solid is the ice. If you keep water in your refrigerator freezer section, then it will change into ice, that is the solid form of ice. And the vapor, if you boil water, what you will observe, that water has been evaporated in the form of vapor after heating. That is called the gaseous form of water. So water mainly exists in liquid form, but it can be changed into its vapor form also on heating, and in its solid form on cooling. And this is done by changing the temperature. If temperature is very less, below 0 degree, then water will change into solid form. And if temperature is above 100 degree, then the water will change into gaseous form. So one by one here we will read the change of liquid water into vapor form and in the solid form. First you read about change of liquid water into water vapor. And for that again we have to do some activities. As I have told you in this lesson, lots of activities are there. Here this activity is a handkerchief. Your handkerchief, you soak it in water and then in the sunlight you will see that it will dry out after some times. It happens why? Because the water gets evaporated and it changes into vapor form due to the heat of the sun, and these water vapor go into the atmosphere. At your home you must have observed when your mother dries the cloth under sunlight, then after sometimes the clothes become dry. How? Because the water evaporates due to the heat of the sun. Means liquid water changed into gaseous form of water, that is water vapor due to the heat of the sun. Again another activity is given in your book, that is wash your hands with water but do not wipe them. After washing your hand, you don't rub with towel. Just after some times, what you will observe? The hands will get dry on their own. Can you say why? It is because the water changes into its vapor form and gets evaporated. That is, and then in previous live class I told you to write the spelling of evaporation. What is evaporation? Change of a liquid into its vapor form. Vapor form means gaseous form. Whenever any liquid changes into gaseous form, that is called evaporation. Now we will see that how the water vapor changes into liquid water on cooling. Liquid water changes into water vapor on heating, and water vapor changes into liquid water on cooling. This you have to remember, children. That is the difference between evaporation and condensation. Change of liquid water into vapor form on heating is known as evaporation, and then change of water vapor into liquid water on cooling is known as condensation. Here again one activity is given. Take some hot water in a cup, or you can take tea also, milk also, anything. Then what you have to do? You cover it with a saucer. After some times lift the saucer. You will see tiny droplets of water deposited on it. How? Can you imagine? Can you guess? Because the vapors coming from hot water, whenever you keep hot water, you can observe that water vapors comes out, and if you cover it with something, then that water vapor on cooling will change into liquid water. That is called condensation. Again one activity is given. A glass tumbler. A glass tumbler you take, put some ice in it. Observe it for some time. Then what we'll see? Water droplets will appear on the outer surface of the tumbler. This you can see whenever you bring your school bottle. If your water bottle you bring to school, after keeping it, filling it with cold water, then what you can observe? Around the water, tiny droplets of water is there. That is because water vapor present in the air. In atmosphere, children, water vapor is present, but we cannot see it. But these water vapors, when get cooled on the surface of the tumbler or your school bottle in which you have kept your chilly water, then it changes into liquid water. And that is only in previous spelling practice I told you to write about condensation also. That is change of vapor form of a substance into its liquid form on cooling is called condensation. There is a difference between evaporation and condensation. What is evaporation? Here we have read that you just see it is written change of a liquid into its vapor form is called evaporation. And what is condensation? Here it is written change of vapor form of a substance into its liquid form on cooling is called condensation. And such a process of conversion of water vapor into its liquid form occurs in nature also on a large scale. And when rainfall, rainy season, you must have observed rain falls on the ground. How? This is because of water cycle. You must have observed the wheel of cycle. You cannot find the starting of the wheel or the end point of the wheel. It is continuous cycle, and that is only water cycle. Water from the ocean and seas gets evaporated due to the heat of the sun. Then these water vapors rise up. When they go very high, then they get cooled, and then they condense to form tiny droplets of liquid water, and then it is clouds are formed. And when more water vapors condense, that the air cannot hold the weight of clouds, then they fall down as rainfall. Then again this rainwater which has fallen down on the earth will be evaporated due to the heat of the sun. Then again their condensation will be there. Again clouds will float in the atmosphere, and when these clouds become so heavy that the air cannot hold them, then they fall down as rainfall. So you must have seen, children, this is a continuous cycle. Water from the seas and ocean gets evaporated, then they get condensed, then they are formed as clouds, then clouds fall down as rainwater, and those rainwater again goes to seas and ocean, and then again the water of seas and ocean evaporates. So this is a continuous cycle. That's why this term has been given water cycle. Here you see what is written in your book. Water from oceans, seas, rivers and lakes changes into vapor as it evaporates. And why it evaporates? Due to the heat of the sun. On heating, water gets evaporated. Then what happened? These water vapors rise up, and as these go very high, there they get cooled down and condense to form tiny droplets of liquid water. As in the activity of cup and saucer, we have seen when we cover the hot water cup or hot milk or hot tea cup with saucer, then a tiny droplets of water is there on the saucer because of the cooling down of water vapor. And this process is here also. Water vapor in the atmosphere get cooled down and condense to form tiny droplets of liquid water. In this way, clouds are formed. And as more and more water vapors condense, the drops of water in the clouds get bigger and bigger. And when they become so heavy that the air cannot hold them, then they fall down as rainfall. Finally, they fall back on the earth as rain. And a part of rainwater which falls on the earth sinks into the ground. And some of this groundwater, then they form groundwater. And this groundwater is taken up by the plants. In lesson plants, you have studied the long roots of the plants absorb water from the soil and then it transport to the different parts of the plants. Then these groundwaters with the help of root plants absorb, and some of it goes to wells or springs, and most of the rainwater goes back to the rivers and seas. And what I have told again, the water of rivers and seas gets evaporated due to the heat of the sun. Then again they condense, they cool down, they are formed as clouds, and then when these clouds become bigger and bigger, then they fall down as rainfall. That rainwater, again some of the rainwater goes down to form groundwater taken by the plants, then some goes back to wells and springs, and most of the rainwater goes back to the rivers and seas. So have you understood, children, what is water cycle, how the rainfall is caused? From there it again gets evaporated by the heat of the sun. And this cyclic process of evaporation, as I have told you, if you see the wheel of the cycle, you cannot find the starting point and the ending point. So in this water cycle also we cannot find from where it has been started, from where it has been ended. It is a continuous process, and this cyclic process of evaporation of water from the earth's surface followed by its condensation is called water cycle in nature. So what is water cycle? The cyclic process of evaporation of water from the earth's surface followed by its condensation is called water cycle. Here in this picture you see, your today's homework is you have to draw this picture. This is the picture of water cycle. This is your homework. Understood? This water cycle you have to draw. Here you see, from the oceans and seas, water gets evaporated. Then the clouds are formed, and these clouds are formed due to the heat of the sun. After condensation, here clouds are formed. Then these clouds float in the atmosphere. When they become so heavy, then they fall down as rainfall. Here some of the water has been absorbed by the trees with the help of their roots, that is groundwater. Some of the water goes to wells and spring, and most part of the water goes to seas and ocean. That is only water cycle. Here you see, raindrops when just formed are the purest form of water. So children, if the question is being asked, what is the purest form of water? What you will write? Rainwater. But it gets mixes with the gases, and when it comes down, the rainwater comes down on the earth, then in the atmosphere it gets mixes with the dust and smoke, and it becomes impure. When it comes to us on the earth, it becomes impure. But when it starts from the atmosphere, from the cloud, then it is the purest form of water. But by the time they reach the surface of the earth, they become impure. Why they become impure? Because in the atmosphere, while coming down to the earth in the atmosphere, they dissolve many harmful gases present in air, and also get dust and smoke mixed up with them. Herein, do you know, it is written about transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is a process similar to evaporation. It is the loss of water from parts of plants, especially leaves. The water particles from the leaves goes up. That is only transpiration. Transpiration adds to the amount of water vapor present in the air, and it also plays a role in cloud formation. So that's all for today, children. We have completed this lesson. In my next class, I will give you the answers of keywords and ABC. And your today's homework is you have to draw this water cycle. So, goodbye. Today this much only. Thank you.